All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to EMPM. That stands for Engineering Major Philosophy Minor, and this is a channel where you can get a working aerospace engineer's opinions on topics pertaining to engineering, philosophy, politics, and various other social and cultural issues. Now, today is Saturday, and I happen to have a day off from both my jobs, which is excellent because this is giving me an opportunity to do a little bit of gaming. And if you guys watched the last couple videos up on the channel, you'd know that I basically went through a recent kind of like major upgrade to my computer where I added a graphics card, SLI now what are two RTX 2080 Ti's, and I also went through building a custom liquid cooling loop. And I did that for two reasons. One reason is because I thought it was going to be a fun project to do with my computer. And just kind of like a fun thing to do in general and share with you guys. And second, because my hope was that I would get a slight or potentially major increase in FPS when playing Cities Skylines, or at least have the game run a little bit more smoothly when I'm recording videos for you guys. Now, because of the second job, I can't record as often, but what I wanted to do in this video is do a little bit of gaming, but first, before I do that, I wanted to give you guys some benchmarks. So I managed to pull up a video that I had earlier where I had the dynamic resolution tool pulled up here, and we're able to see the frames per second, and so we can compare generally kind of scene for scene. So before we do that, the first thing I want to let you guys know is that let's see here, that the ultimate level of detail settings are the same for both situations. So as you guys can see right here, here's the previous video, and we can directly compare settings right here. You can pause it if you want to double check each one, and we can see that the settings are exactly the same. So now that I've done that, you guys saw, well, you can see it now. So we've been bouncing between, 19, maybe sometimes as low as 15, even 14 frames per second in this particular scene. And what I'm going to do now is hop back in the other video, and we can now watch this scene from previous. So you can see the FPS monitor up here in the corner. Again, still hovering around 19, 17. Occasionally it's going to dip to 15 every once in a while. But one thing to keep in mind is if I pause this and also pause this, we can take a look at some key differences. So let's take a look at the skyline first of all. You can see this suspension bridge here. Since then, areas of this downtown have been built out significantly. So now there is more graphics to render in the background. Also, there's some bridges back over here that are not present across this bay. Over here, there's a trolley line going around here that's not here. There are also a bunch of buildings built out on this side of downtown that are not present over here. And in addition, it's kind of hard to see, but there are some changes to areas over by the oil industry over here. Not only that, but there is a little bit more traffic currently. So despite the fact that the FPS looks the same, since there's a little bit more attributes now, I'm going to chalk that up to maybe a 1 FPS, maybe 2 FPS maximum improvement, which is, not as much as I would have hoped, but that's totally fine. Yeah, you can see there's this traffic jam that's going on right here, and it would be nice to resolve what that is because look at my traffic flow. I mean, it is at 86%, which is good, but this is a big contributor to why it's not higher. I think I had it at around 89, maybe even 90% for a long time here. This area right here in the farming industry is another problematic area, but that should get resolved once we build this out a little bit more, because this collector road right here is actually going to come right in here, and it's not going to meet up directly with the highway, but it's going to give another way to kind of move traffic out of this dense industrial area. With that said, I want to jump over to this area of the map right here, And I'm going to try to position this as best as possible around this intersection, because I have another scene from my other video, which I'm going to try and jump to now. In game right now, 25, 26 frames per second. Every once in a while it drops down to 23. Let's look at what it was previously. Actually a traffic jam going on previously with all these logos showing up. Oh, let's go back 10 seconds. 23, 24 FPS. You could see there briefly. See, here I'm zooming around and stuff, so the FPS isn't stabilized. It will for a second right here. Yeah, 24 FPS versus 25. So again, you know, kind of a minor improvement, maybe by 1 to 2 FPS. I think there's one more scene, which is like kind of from this view right here. And off camera, I compared that, or I guess off recording, and it's about the same. It's about a 1 to 2 FPS improvement, which I'm totally fine with. Although what I will say is it does seem like the gameplay itself is a lot more smooth. And I can also increase, I did some experimentation with this. I can increase some of these settings and still get reasonable performance. In fact, I think I think I'll just leave it the way it is for now. I think these settings are acceptable for recording and just kind of enjoying the gameplay generally. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is what's going on here with my system temperatures. So we have basically the commander core controlling the radiator fan speeds and the pump speed, essentially based on the fluid temperature. You can see that the CPU is running roughly, I would say on average, at about the fluid temp, which is good. That means that we're getting really good and efficient exchanging of heat right there. Obviously, if the CPU was a lot hotter than the fluid temp, then we wouldn't be getting as good of heat exchange. But still, I'd say on average, I mean, some of these cores are maybe coming in a little bit hotter by like 10 or so Fahrenheit. That's not a huge difference. We can look at the graphics card temperatures, and we also see some pretty benign temperatures here as well. And I've had the system running, and I've been fiddling around with this for probably about an hour. So this is probably, you know, what the temperatures are going to stabilize at least for playing Cities Skylines with this particular city that I have open there. Alright guys, so now that I've showed you guys those benchmarks, I want to hop over to this spot in the city, and we're just going to kind of start building stuff here. But let me give you guys an idea of what's going to happen here. So you can, if I open the resource availability toggle, you can see that there is a bunch of ore that is available along this mountainside. And so I definitely want to leverage that to create an ore industry, because the ore industry is one of the only industries that I don't have. In fact, I think it is the only industry that I don't have. Oh, that's not true. I don't have a fishing industry either. Anyway, that said, guys, unfortunately, one thing that happened was in the process of troubleshooting something else, and this was a while ago, I accidentally set all the industries buildings to be unlocked, and I saved, and unfortunately that means that now I have all these ore buildings available to me without actually having to level up the industry. And, you know, obviously that's cool because I can just build whatever I want. But, you know, the rest of these industries I did level up just kind of on their own, and, you know, had to grow the income of the industry and, you know, plan out the areas kind of as time went on in accordance with what was available, and redo things. And the process was a little bit more interesting, I think, for that. So for this ore industry, you know, everything's kind of at my fingertips at the moment right now. So what's going to happen is we're going to focus on building an ore industry in this area. But in order to do that, there's a few things that need to get set up. So first off, taking a look at the topography, and can I overlay these? No, I can't, unfortunately. So you can see there's some significant grades in this area, And I think what I want to do with this is pick a set level, and I want to level off actually kind of a somewhat large area, because what I want to do is I want to make the entrance to this ore area, this mining operation, kind of stand out. When uh, somebody goes to gain employment here at the ore industry, or when people, the idea would be that citizens would actually come and be able to kind of take a tour of the ore industry area if they wanted to. And so I want to create like an area over here where they feel welcome to go and do that. Now, before I do that, I do want to just do some road planning here. So the intent of this road was actually to continue up in this direction here. So I am going to just kind of place a dummy road going off in that direction. And then obviously I want to connect these up, but the way this is, that curvature is not going to look too pretty. So what I'm going to do is come out relatively close, maybe like here, go for this freeform tool, and boom, just make a nice curve that goes in that way. When it does look a little bit wonky right here. Why is it doing that? Let's get rid of that really fast. I know that that's kind of nitpicky, but as you guys know, I am a perfectionist here. What happens if I just make that straight? Oh no, it doesn't look good either. This is one of these things with the game. Sometimes you gotta play weird games like this. Because if this doesn't come in at perfectly a 90-degree angle, it's going to give you that strange look. And in fact, that's not... No, that actually looks good. Okay, so that's fine. So that's how, that road is going to go off here and eventually meet up here. And I think I might start another oil industry in this area. So Eddie Loesch over here... Loesch Refinery is going to get a little bit of competition, but in the free market, we welcome competition. So, all right. So branching off from this road right here, I'm going to start placing some dirt roads, and a lot of this is for planning purposes. But at some point in time, these roads are going to get upgraded. So. This road is kind of going to be a frontage road that will eventually wrap around the amusement park. Or potentially it will become a neighborhood in this area, kind of at the foothills of the ore industry. Because what's going to need to happen is there's going to need to be another freeway exchange somewhere in this area right here. And that's going to be the main entrance of the amusement park. Now, the main entrance to the ore industry... I actually want to put that branching off of here. So for now, I'm just going to make a dirt road going off in that direction. And again, now we have to do some terraforming of this area. And the question is, what height do I want to pick? And the thing to note about this is... obviously, the lower the height I pick, the more soil I'm going to obtain when I start leveling off this. And I am going to cut into the hillside, the mountainside here a little bit when doing this because I need, some of this terrain to be flat here for me to access it. And it might look weird having a steep drop off, but we're going to chalk that up to, when they were planning out... we should probably come up with a name of who made this industry. But anyway, when they start planning out, where they're going to dig and mine and stuff like that, they're going to do these blasting operations, and it's going to make, this cliffside not look as natural. It's going to be cut in just a little bit. So maybe that'll be one tier. I'll just pick, maybe right here. And I'll start just kind of leveling this off here. And I'm going to cut in a decent amount because I want you know, more ore available. So when they're planning this out, they're going to be like, okay, where's the most dense ore? And we're going to blast in that area. And I'm kind of concerned as to why it's looking strange. What are these weird corners in here? That's just, it's not tearing or anything. It's just a weird aspect of the map here. Okay, so we have, you know, that kind of one terrace there. And maybe, let's see here. Maybe beneath that, so there's going to be a road that comes up. Maybe we'll pick kind of like in between. And we'll just flatten out a spot here. And get that out of the way. So we have plenty of soil available, so I'm just going to kind of go ham and just make a nice big area here, because we're going to have like a park or something hanging out here. And that is where, you know, people can go and look at a bunch of different types of rocks. Now I do not have enough soil available. That's good. So maybe I can, if I feather this out, I can gain some availability for sure. Okay. Let's see what this looks like here. All right, yeah, then, you know, that's fine. Soften this out here a little bit. And, you know, there's going to be various tiers to this. Not tears like you're crying, but tears like different levels. Let's try using this tool again. Let's see here. What do you do with this again? Click with the secondary mouse button to set slope location. Okay, so what you got to do is basically right click, and then you go from low to high when you start dragging. So that creates your nice slope. And I had the brush strength like really high right there, so let's actually delete out this road for a second. Bring back the terrain heights. And let's make this a little smaller. Just kind of try this again. All right. That's nice right there. Soil availability is really minimal, but that's totally fine. So now the question, well, I'm just going to put a dirt road up into this area. Let's go to right there, and let's check out the topography again. So I want to aim for kind of like maybe the middle of this. Let's see here. How do I want this to go? Maybe something like this. That looks good. And then let's take a look at how big the ore industry main building is right here. Okay, so it goes that way, and it's about, oh, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 tiles long. So let's just do something here. So this would be 8, 9, 10. I think this is the right size. If I do this, then this should fit right in there. Yep. Okay, that's good. Because what I want is, let's get rid of some of these views. What I want is the main building to kind of sit. Maybe that's too big. No, that should be okay. I want some space in front of this. So I want the main building to sit like this, basically. And then the roads to go up behind it. Well, maybe I want the main building to sit at the end of basically a cul-de-sac that's like a loop. But then what I really want is for there to be kind of like a main industry road, like branching off, that goes up here and kind of services all the mining areas. And actually, that's a point about this road right here is this needs to be a heavy industrial road. Heavy trafficked industrial road right here, for sure, because we basically need ore trucks to get down the mountain and then just be able to get right onto the freeway through this exchange that we built earlier. And one thing also that you'll notice is that this Echo Peak reactor complex and also sewage treatment facility, this is actually like one big cul-de-sac, and that means that all the traffic is going to funnel to here. And so what I should probably do, just because I'm looking at it right now, is go ahead and bring this road out, maybe to there, and bring a road, say, off of here. And these two should absolutely meet up like this. This isn't the prettiest topography, but now when I do that, now there's another outlet. So, you know, let's say the garbage truck, for example, it might actually be faster for the garbage trucks to come out and go this way versus coming out and going that way. And as you can see, actually one garbage truck just did that. So now they won't all have to stop there. Gonna have to do something about these sharp terrain edges right here for sure. This definitely needs some terraforming, but I don't really want to worry about that right now. I want to focus on this industry. So we have this this main industry road right here, and let's go ahead and bring that to there. And now we're going to continue up into the hillside, but the first thing we need to do is paint. Let's see here. Paint industry area. Okay. Now, this is going to be very large area right here. And there might even be some industrial buildings along there. I'll clean that up in a second. But the ore industry is really going to capture all of this right here. And it may need to get expanded in the future, but we'll just set this up like so. And now that I'm doing that, I don't want this industry to cross the road, basically. It stays there. And maybe we'll have some industrial buildings in this area as well. In fact, you know, there might be a factory here or something like that that utilizes the ore industry. So, well, I was going to go on a tangent about where I place the factories and why. So there's a temptation to place all these factories like all next to each other. But I found that causes like logistical issues, and then things don't get resources. So what I've done is I've spread them out. So like, here's a printing press, you know, here's this is a toy factory. If you go over here, you know, here's I think it's a bakery. Oh no, it's a furniture factory. Where's the bakery? Well, anyway, there's a bakery somewhere over here. There's another factory in this area, household plastics, clothing. And so each of these factories are kind of set up in like a different areas of town. You know, it's interesting that this is having a trash problem when there's a waste processing complex like right here. Anyway, you know, spread your factories out. That can make... did I really not build a bakery? Oh, here it is. That just makes, you know, kind of the resource allocation a little bit better. And of course, as I say that, these run out of plastics, which is funny because this is oil products right across the street. That's the whole reason I put this warehouse here. Anyway, that's maybe not working correctly. Let's go back here. So we painted the industry area, and now we're going to place the ore industry main building right here. And in fact, behind this, I can create some small industrial roads. Actually, we'll make them one-way roads, kind of coming off this way. And while I am doing that, I'm going to upgrade these other roads. So I actually want this one to be tree lined. Actually, you know what? Let's not make it. Let's just do grass. Because this isn't like the nicest, you know, area ever. But we do want it to be welcoming to people who want to see. So that doesn't have power or water. That's a problem. Let's get some pipes here. And if you watch City Planner Plays, which I'm a big fan of his, even though I haven't watched a video in a while because I've been super busy, but if you watch City Planner Plays, I think his name is Phil, he says that water needs to go under the road, so we're going to put water underneath the road. I'm going to pass this power line over here. Have you guys ever watched a Goofy movie? And there's that musician in a Goofy movie known as Powerline. I just thought of that now for some reason. Now this should be getting power now. What? There you go. Okay, so now that we've done that, maybe actually back behind here is a good opportunity to place some support buildings for this industry. That doesn't want to work. Where are all my things? Oh, they're gone. Let's do that. Now let's take a look at where the resources are. So the resources start here, and I want to be absolutely certain that I kind of get the most bang for my buck out of this. So what we want to do is, what I don't want is to not maximize the amount of what I want is to maximize the amount of ore and stuff that I'm able to extract. And so we need to make sure that all the land that's blue in the resource monitor right here gets like a little mine put on it or something like that. So we're going to have this main industry road that kind of rolls through here. And I need to connect this to here, and it would be nice to get a 90-degree connection. Oh, that's bike lanes. Bike to work day at the strip mine, or at the pit mine. Anyway, okay. So now we have that connected up, and again, this entire area right here, what I want to do is like make a park area. In fact, can I do that? Can I paint industrial specializations, commercial? Well, first off, this needs to be ore. Did I already do that? I painted an industry area. It's called Sycamore Mining. I guess it already is. Oh, it automatically makes that when I place the main building in there. Okay, cool. The key is, can I paint a park area? Paint park. See, if I paint a park area, it's going to get rid of the ore industry. Okay. Well, anyway, what I want to do is make a park here, and I want to put like a bunch of rocks and stuff in there and just some pathways. The idea being that people are, you know, able to walk around. Oh, here's an animal. A bison. The idea being that people can, you know, come in here, they can take a tour, and they can walk around and, you know, look at a number of these rocks and understand what minerals and precious metals get extracted from which various rocks and stuff like that. So now that we have this main industry road going up through here, I want to extend it a little bit further. And of course, struggling to find where it actually is. Here we go. So let's bring this up just a tiny bit further. Let's take so we've got some resources right here. So off in these areas, what I want to do is place some small mines. How big is this large one? Okay, so the max for this is 9,600 units per week. How about this one? The max for this is 6,400, but this is twice as long. Yeah, so we want to be space conscious here. So one thing I found with the oil industry, and this is off topic, but so these small oil pumps, the max production rate is 4,800 units per week. And this is a 1x2 or I should say, well, you call it a 2x1 square or a 1x2 asset. This right here is a 3x3, but as it turns out, 8,000. So two of these, which fits in a smaller area, just 2x2 versus a 3x3, two of these actually produces more than this larger one. The only difference is the amount of freight truck count increases to 8. It's a little bit harder to tell with this, but I think I can place more. So 6,400 versus 96. So 64 times 2, or 6.4 times 2, should be like 13 point, let's see, sorry, 12.8. 12.8 units, 12.8 thousand versus 9.6, but a larger area. So I think I want to go with these. But the key here is what we want is to have kind of smaller local roads coming off of here. And let's take a look at the workers' barracks really fast. This is a maintenance building, the workers' barracks. Okay, so I need to go out 6 tiles with the road in order to fit that. And I want that to face the, I don't want that to face onto this road. So we're going to put some workers' barracks right here and right here. And then on the other side, that is where we will place this small mine. And if let's see what happens if I place it that way. That should be okay. Let's place another one right here. Well, I don't know. That hillside actually looks a little bit too drastic. I'm gonna realistically just move these arbitrarily like this. Yeah, that looks a little bit more reasonable in my opinion. Just extend the dirt road kind of to the end there. And then we're going to do some blasting of those rocks. Get out of there. Oh, can you actually attach paths to these? Hang on a second. I never noticed this before. Oh no, I wonder why it has these little nodes on there. Interesting. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want another one of these mines, but I want it to face kind of the opposite way, but I don't know exactly how big it is, so let's see if this fits. No, I think I need to go 2 more tiles. Of course, I'm going to forget exactly where that was placed, but let's just do this. This is too far now. 2 tiles less, which I think will be there. Let's see here. Boom. Cool. Now we have these 2 small mines right here. Oh, I meant to just move this one over. Okay, well now we're going to have 3. Question is, how do I want to orient this one? So since there is more material kind of off in this area, I want to put maybe some of these larger mining operations there. I'm just considering, you know, maybe what I want to do actually is, what does it look like if I do this? You know, that's okay. I can live with that. So we got plenty of area here for some of the larger mines. So what I think is going to happen is I'm going to have some of these, like, let's see here. What do they look like? These guys hanging out over in this corner back here. And then down into this area, once the operation has expanded, I mean, I'm bummed that I don't have to go through the leveling up process, but I want these large, you know, these large ore mines to basically be digging in, look like they're digging into the side along here. And I want a bunch of them, you know, like maybe 10 of them along here, just kind of spread out with maybe other ore mine things in between. That'll be sweet. Now, the one thing also that's interesting about this is I think I read that if you have one of these raw mineral storages right here, this will actually provide you nuclear fuel to go over to your nuclear reactors here. So you'll save yourself a little bit of budget. But I don't know that for sure. I don't know if that's how it works. But so we don't have water in these. Let's get some water over here. Just loop this around like this. Cool. And let's see here. We have these one-way roads right here. But I'm thinking on the opposite side. On the opposite side of here, it might be worthwhile to have some storage. So, what happens if I come in like that? And then let's make some storage facilities or storage. Oh, we also need some of these processing plants too, but let's put some, can I fit this here? Sweet, I can fit that there. I thought that I leveled this out. I don't like what that topography is doing. Let's kind of just fix that a little bit. Doesn't look good. You know, this isn't this isn't parallel with this road. But that's okay. So we're gonna set this to balance. That's totally fine. Okay, so now the question is, you see, you know what I don't like about this here though is this road's gonna come out this way. So this is one of those things that you kind of need to. It can be kind of a pain to like plan this stuff out, but see how this also looks kind of sunken in. I'm gonna want to move this for sure. The question is, where do I move it to? And maybe a good spot to move it is coming off of here. And I don't need a one way for this. Let's just do that. And I'll relocate this here. And again, having an issue with the topography. Let's get this leveled out right here. Okay, does it make sense to have the storage over here? Okay. Also, it needs to happen is if I'm going to have a road there, it needs to be an industry road, and it needs to meet up kind of perfectly with this one. Or it needs to come back behind here and cut across. I don't know what the best way to handle this is from a traffic management point of view. I don't want there to have to be a bunch of freight traffic coming in front of the main building. Because again, I mentioned that I kind of want this to be like a park area. And I'm kind of polluting that by, you know, having this ore storage hanging out randomly over here. So maybe what I'll do, and unfortunately this isn't wide enough for this to fit in here. It's just too wide. So the layout of this is definitely going to be a little bit in flux, and now I'm debating if I really want these to be one way. I kind of do. One thing I can do though is first off upgrade this to an industry road. So I want the mines and stuff to be off on dirt roads, but everything else I want to be on an industry road. So let's see here. If I was to do something like this, how big is the grinding operation here. Or grinding mill, glass manufacturing. Okay. So the grinding mill isn't that big. Oh, and I can fit 2 of them next to each other, except these roads aren't parallel. I should have made these parallel before I built all this stuff, huh? Okay, how do I want to handle this? This area will be wide enough for 2 grinding mills, but this industry road's going to have to curve that way. So what if I do something like this? What I'm going to do is do that, and then now this should be parallel, which it is. Lose that for a second. Bring that up to there and there. This is going to be one way. This is going to be a regular old one. That's going to be a regular one. Do these really need to be one way? I don't know. I'll think about that, but I do want to place... Oh, it's not wide enough. By one stupid tile. It's not wide enough. Oh, man. Well, that's annoying. Let's move this over here for a second. Geez, I want that to be wide enough. So we're gonna make it that way. So move this to there. Put another one right here. And now can make another road that goes like this. Doesn't looks like crap. Let's do everything except road guidelines and angle. Like that. Like that. Okay, I'm cool with that. And in fact, I can even kind of cut that block right there. And then, ooh, does this fit? No. Good times. And then we'll do something... Let's see here. What else can fit here? Oh, wow, that maintenance building's giant. Okay, we'll put another one of these grinding mills. Here's what we'll do. We'll put another grinding mill there. And then what I'll do is I'll put paths kind of going around here. Like this. And that'll just make a nice little area, I guess, where people can walk and chill out. Maybe I'll put another path. Let's get rid of road guidelines. Put another path through here. Now, I think that these cause a bunch of pollution. I don't know if this causes any pollution, actually. Let's see here. Grinding mill. Water, electricity. Our electricity production rate. Noise pollution, pollution 40. Pollution 50. Okay, yeah. So I was going to put some plants and stuff here, but then, well, what's funny is there's these palm trees that come with the asset, but I don't know if they're going to die over time. But we'll find out. All right, so there's that there. And since I was putting in paths and things like that, why don't I do something kind of here with this area. We'll just kind of start putting some paths through here. And these are going to be the paths that people can kind of walk along, and, you know, they can go observe some of the rocks, and look at some like plaques and things like that, and read about what the industry does here. Let's put some interesting looking boulders. Oh, well, it lets me place it, but then it's going to blow a bunch of stuff up. Yeah, and here in the front there should be a good rock formation too, but let's get some path connections going through here first. So I think here what I'll do is just frame this area with paths briefly. And let's see here. What might be an interesting rock to put here? Ooh, that's way too big. Oh, they just get progressively larger as you... put this rock here. Oh, that's cool. It comes with foliage and stuff beneath it. It's technically supposed to sit in the water, I think, but... just going to line this with some of these small rocks right here. Like so. This will look kind of, you know, organized right here. Let's see here. Can we put some of these? Yep. Put some of these rocks just kind of sticking out here like this. People can really get the idea of, you know, this is a kind of a strange formation here. Put some trees in between as well. I mean, you can't really view the rock if there's all these trees in the way, but it just makes it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Yep, so that kind of just hides the main building right here. Continue along with that. Let's also make sure that where my intersection's at. And we're at a 40-minute long endeavor, plus whatever 15 minutes I filmed earlier. What am I looking for? What am I looking for here? I think it's this. Yeah, junctions. I want to make sure that these are just stop signs coming in to the main road right here. Oh, I missed one. Minus 31,000. Come on, man. Come on, man. We're selling rocks. We're selling rocks. And YouTube, by the way, I don't mean rocks like friggin' crack. You know, we're not selling crack rocks. We're just selling ore industry, rocks, precious metals. You know, like all that stuff that China sells to us that we're not allowed to, like, mine for anymore. Because we're a bunch of cowards. So obsessed with preserving the environment. So anyway, let's see here. Let's continue this one-way action right here. So now you have this nice kind of loop that you can go around in this. And actually, this technically does not need to be one-way right here. So let's fix that. Alright, like that. Oh, I put the bike lane road in again because I thought it was grass. Here we go. Boom. So, this storage is in kind of an awkward spot. I think it needs to be more up here, but the thing is, well, because we're looking at it right now, let's get an idea of kind of where this road needs to go. So I did want to use some of these up here. Like here, maybe maybe like 3 of these up here. Let's see here. What do I need to do to make that happen? We'll just go ahead and work out where these are going to be placed. Just make a dirt road this way. And let's see here if this... Oh, no, that's way too close. That's way too close, brother. Needs to be more like back here. Hopefully some of these fit. So, if I place this, I think I need to move it back like 1 tile. Let's do something like that. Really gotta play with this stuff to get it just right, you know? Okay, I'm okay with that. Put it there. And then let's go ahead and get rid of that quickly. And just bring this. It needs to be... No. Let's bring that up. How come that doesn't want to meet? Why you like this? I even have my road guidelines on. How about that? I would like this to stop annoying me right now, for sure. What might need to happen is that this actually gets turned into the main road, because this is going to be too close. But then, oh wait, I can switch the direction of these. So load onto there, and now go ahead and get rid of these roads briefly, and we're gonna go to this one. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Ooh, you're gonna do this to me, huh? I need to get rid of that so that I can get this to go there. And then this is what looks kind of weird, but this is gonna be this dirt road right here. That's going to kind of meet up just at this main intersection right here. It's just going to be this huge intersection that has a dirt road on one side. That's okay. And let's put back the roads that got demolished here, like so. Okay. And actually... You know, what really needs to happen is this needs to become parallel also with this other stuff right here. So, let's go ahead and do that, and then do something like this. It seems a little bit more natural there. Now this might actually need to get... Now this can get moved to be somewhat closer. That's about as close as it's going to get. But now I can take this and curve that into there. Not the prettiest looking connection, but that's fine. And now what I want is to get rid of this road and then measure off of here where I want to put another one of these. Let's see here. It doesn't look extremely weird. But I want it further back. Maybe here. 2 tiles further back. And also, let's go ahead and move this. Well, I want some separation from the other one. Maybe there. No, it needs to be separated more. Like this. So unfortunately it looks like I'm not going to be able to fit 3 of these up there. That's not a huge deal. Let's do that. Yes, I know you don't have water. Working on it. Okay, there's that. I'll get some water going up here. And a lot of this is really kind of quick and dirty, but it's coming together. So what might look nice is to put a bunch of rocks in between these two. I don't really think that there's much that can be squeezed into this empty area right here. So maybe like rocks and trees can go in between these. And then we're going to have a couple, you know, smaller mining operations here. I think what might be wise for this is to extend this road and flip it around. So I'll go ahead and just do that really fast since we're looking at it. There's going to be some weird sloping on the other side here. I think, though, that... Let's see, can I get rid of that? Well, doesn't look great. That's okay, though. Now it doesn't have water again. Cool. Will that fix it? Come on. There we go. Should go away in a second. Alright, so we've got a bunch of production here. We've got this. There likely needs to be some warehouse storage down in this area over here. But this is like, you know, been an hour long at this point. So I think I'm going to call it here. We've got the start of this ore industry right here. And this is going to be, you know, pretty essential component to basically making, you know, improving the economics of this city, and also just providing, you know, yet another industry, another opportunity for innovation, another you know, just another example of how Citrus Valley is, you know, very, very pro capitalism, you know, you know, people being able to pursue their passions, and start up businesses, and you know, not have to worry about. Also, by the way, guys, in none of these industries are masks required to work on the job, and there's no vaccination requirements in Citrus Valley here. You know, the citizens here are, you know, as has been mentioned in the past, are kind of kind of obsessed with freedom and personal autonomy, and just, you know, being able to make your own personal decisions and, you know, work hard and accept the risks associated with working hard. You know, these guys are coming in here and operating this heavy equipment, you know, driving around these weird mining trucks, like in the grind mill here. You know, they're working around machines that, you know, if they get a glove stuck, they can get sucked in and chopped up. You don't really have time to think about, you know, an issue with, you know, a virus that's in the family of, you know, the common cold, basically. You know, they just kind of work hard and move on, and, you know, do their part, not only to keep themselves employed, but demonstrate that they're into, you know, hard work and, you know, those kind of core values. So at this point, I'm just kind of placing rocks and around these. Yeah, so, you know, eventually, you know, one thing I need to do too is this. Is this... Okay. Well, this area is shaping up, guys, and in the next one I'll continue this, building this, but it might be a video where I have, you know, I basically just do a voiceover. I continue to play the game, and I just have footage that I talk over, so I'm not just talking through this. But I did want to make this video to show you guys, you know, the benchmarks, and you know, let you guys know that the computer is functioning well. And just for your reference, now we've been playing this, you know, the fluid temp's still around 100. Everything's pretty much stabilized. This one graphics card has gotten a little bit hotter, up to 130F. Clearly this one's doing a majority of the work, relative to the other one. But that said, CPU temps all looking good, and we've been running continuously for a while now. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your weekend, guys. Later.